On this episode of High Voltage Diesel, we're back at the 73 Plymouth Duster. Doing some more work. It's getting exciting now. I know no one watches the videos on the Duster. I don't know why no one likes her. But that's alright. I know some of you guys do, so what's going on today? It is finally time. I spent about another 20 hours, 30, probably 30 hours. Probably more than that, honestly. I don't know. I don't keep track. You don't keep track of time on these projects. Getting the cowl on this thing absolutely immaculate, perfect. And getting the door jambs perfect. A lot of little work to do in here. Getting the rockers perfect. There's the beautiful underneath of this car. Got the rockers 100% beautiful. So what are we doing? Well, doing some more painting, or at least getting ready to. I got this all sanded with 320 and we are ready to paint. I just have to mask off. Just figured I'd make a little video and share with everyone what's going on. Keep you guys in the loop. So what exactly are we painting? Alright, let's start from the front and work our way back. I'm going to tape off at this body line right here. Call it a body line, but seam, whatever you want to call it. And we're painting from there, painting the cowl panel, painting around the windshield, up, somewhere's in there, around the windshield. Probably going to cut it off about a 1/4 inch up. Kind of cut it off in here somewhere, fade it off. The whole A-pillar's getting painted. Door jambs, the entire door jamb's getting painted. Going to cut it off about an 1/8 inch or so. And then the window, the quarter glass jamb right here. And the rocker up to this body line, and from this line down, entire underneath is all getting painted. Pretty much final. Plan is after that, you can see over here, I got my fenders and doors. Doors are way in the front. I got all those jammed, meaning I have the jambs done. So after this is painted, we'll be hanging the fenders and the doors on, lining everything up finally for the last time. Getting all the body lines lined up, door jambs perfect. And then this car is pretty much ready to paint, but it just needs to be block sanded one more time. It's already been done about 4 times already. Just needs to be done about one more time with all the panels on it, and then primered again, and then blocked one more time after that, and then painted. The car will be painted. Still tons and tons of work ahead of me to do this. The reason I am painting it like this, painting the jambs separate, there's a lot of different ways to skin a cat, they say. And this is not a metallic color, so it's really not technically by the book necessary to paint it with the panels on. I can really just paint, I could paint the whole car the way it is, paint the panels. However, to get the best job possible, no matter what anybody says, the best thing to do is paint the whole car together and block the whole car together with these lines lined up. You line all your doors up, line all your panels up, fenders, sand everything together, paint it all together. That way, all your paint matches. You start with your spray gun at one end and you go all the way up and down the entire length of the car, and that's how you get your best consistent paint job, and it just works out. You just get such a better job. The only thing that you have to contend with after that is just you might end up with a little bit of a tape line or something depending on what happens, but you typically back tape so you don't get tape lines. But yeah, I'm deciding to paint the cowl. I can always paint it again, just scuff it and paint it again when I paint the car. It'd just be nice to paint this and just get it done. You know, I'm painting it with the paint that I have for I bought a whole gallon of green for the car for just the body, and I'm painting it with that. So, you know, the cowl shouldn't be that big of a deal. Because mostly when you look at a car, you're looking at the side of it, and you're looking at the big stuff, like the quarter, the doors, and the fenders. You know, you can panel paint little stuff like the cowl and all that. And I'm kind of debating whether I want to paint the hood black or green. I'm really not sure yet. It's kind of up in the air yet. But if I paint the hood black, I won't have to worry about it matching the cowl anyway. So it's easier just to paint the cowl. Then when I paint the roof, just blend the paint in this area somewheres, and you'll never even notice it. But yeah, that's what we're working on. So, being said, we are going to keep masking off. I have to mask everything off. Even the underneath has to get masked off, so overspray doesn't get underneath, because the underneath of this car is painted nicer than most cars are painted on top. And same thing with the engine bays, painted really nice. So we have to mask it off really well. Yes, it would be nice to have a big fancy shop on a rotisserie and do all this, like the whole thing all at once, but with the, you know, hey, it's a garage, I can't complain, but with what I have to work with, it's not practical to do this car. So that's why I'm doing it in steps like this. But you could still get just as nice of a job. It just takes more work, more money, more time than just putting it on a rotisserie, painting everything all at once. So yeah, that's where we're at. Let's get going. All right, we're gonna do an experiment here. We're gonna try something. Got a can of brake cleaner, can of black paint. Just do it. Pop this off. Pop that off, put that on there. We're going to take our little straw. We're going to put it right on there like that. I'm sure they actually make something for this, but this is what my local hardware store had. Why'd we do that, you may ask? Let's test it out. Ooh. I don't know, that's pretty darn heavy. Alright, so these dusters, it is virtually impossible to try to paint inside this vent right here. And I want to try to get something in there other than what it is now, which is ugly. So I'm hoping that if I do this, at least I can get some kind of color in there for now. Hope this don't backfire on me. Yeah, I don't know. It's making a mess. Yeah, crap. Yeah, I'm not so sure I want to do that. Because that is sure making a mess. Like a big mess. And again, it don't look bad. It's getting all over the place. I mean, I realize green overspray is going to get on it, but honestly don't look that bad. Of course, I'm trying to rush this too because I want to try to paint this before the bugs come out tonight. Alright, well, how's the Duster coming along? Not good. Having some major setbacks here. Not too happy about this. Alright, well, yeah, look at this. What a mess, huh? Thought I was home free. Nope, not at all. I spent probably 30 hours on this engine compartment, maybe more than that, with everything from bare metal, getting everything perfect. And this is where we're at. So apparently I bought single stage urethane for the jams, not thinking but knowing that base coat, clear coat urethane you can blend in with the single stage urethane, and apparently the single stage urethane is not having it. So originally I painted the whole engine compartment up to here with single stage urethane, and was going to paint from here all the way up with base coat, clear coat, because that's what I'm painting the car with, and had a nasty reaction with the single stage urethane and the base coat urethane. Have no idea why, but I'm pretty sure it's because the single stage urethane, something happened when it got mixed or something, I'm not sure. Somehow they reacted. Never ever seen that. The hundreds of times that I've blended single stage, and I mean it's the same stuff. I mean basically single stage urethane is basically clear coat with color in it. You know, so it's, you know, it shouldn't hurt anything. Never had this problem before. So basically, yeah, so I'm not sure what we're gonna do now. Probably looking at getting a sandblaster and cleaning all this garbage paint completely off and starting all over again. But I've been doing some testing to try to figure out where the problem's coming from. And this is what happens when you paint the base coat over top of the single stage. It just gets under there and lifts it. It's like putting paint remover on it. So yeah, so this easy finale of getting the jams done turned into a complete shit show. And now we're looking at stripping everything back off. And when I say everything, I mean all the doors and the fender jams. We're done with that garbage. Probably all have to be stripped down again. The trunk jam I did, probably gonna have to be stripped down again. So yeah, fun times. Not really sure what to do. I have to face the reality that all this is gonna have to be redone again because I got a shit batch of paint mixed, and basically the urethane, this was painted probably several months ago and it never dried. It peels right off with your fingernail. Never had that happen before. Any other single stage I painted before, you paint it, the next day it's as hard as a piece of glass. This, it just, and I prepped it right. I've painted hundreds of cars before. I've been painting my entire life. This was all prepped right. No different than any other way I've ever done it. And this paint, it just comes right off like window tint with the razor blade scraper. Just nothing. It's like, I don't know what the deal is. So yeah, we're pretty pissed off right now, to say the least. I've spent a lot of time and a lot of money on this car. To have to redo this engine compartment, is this going to be a disaster? I have to pull the engine cradle off and yeah, just start from scratch. So at this point I'm probably just going to look for somebody to paint it or something. I'm really not sure. Or just do what I should have done years ago, just sell this thing and just buy one already done. One step forward and 4 steps back on this car, the whole entire process, it seems like. Just, you know, they don't make things like they used to be. All this paint nowadays is this environmentally friendly garbage, and this nothing but problems with this crap. So yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. So that's enough rambling for now. Try to get a little bit of an update here. Alright guys, well, here it is about 2 weeks later. What'd we do? Well, I was a little too irritated to video, but basically ended up sandblasting the entire engine compartment again because that single stage urethane that I originally got, all it did was react with the urethane base coat I sprayed on it, and basically had to start completely from scratch. So sandblasted it, primered it, sanded it, primered it, sanded it. We're ready to go again. I am like so worked up right now and just nervous that like this took a week worth of work to do this, because this car is gotta be nice. Like, this isn't just a quickie whack and pack job. This is a nice car. So door jambs are fine. The only thing that happened was wherever that single stage urethane was reacted with the base coat urethane. Never seen that happen before. Kind of wrote it off as a bad mixture. I think the paint, something happened when the paint got mixed. It could have been the white that I put under it the first time. Not really sure what it is or what it was, but it was not fun because I already had this engine compartment done and perfect, except for the tops of the aprons bubbled because that crappy base coat, or that single stage, didn't dry all the way and bubbled the top of the aprons, which normally you would just block it out with 320 and then just repaint it. You wouldn't have to take it all off, but it was reacting with the new base coat that I got that I'm going to paint the car with. And basically it all had to come off. Anywheres where it touched, reacted. In here, shouldn't be a problem. If it is, the shocks go there anyway. Didn't do the frame rails again. I just kind of made a line kind of like where the panels are put together. But this area here has to be nice. So I had to take it completely down and start all over again. So here we go again. Hopefully this time I can get this stupid car all this done and not have any problems. I actually sprayed some of the green base coat over this light that was painted white, and then I sanded it with 320 and then just painted it white again with the base coat to see if that would react, and I had no reactions. So that means we should have the green light to go, because what the plan is right now is to end the green paint up in this area somewheres, and probably when I paint the roof, blend into that. Like I said, this isn't really the most ideal way to paint a car like this, but with the space that I'm given and the resources I have to work with, I kind of have to do it like this. You know, it's just kind of what I have to do with what I have to work with. I mean, ideally I'd have a rotisserie or a nice paint booth or something, but with what I have to work with, this is kind of the way I decided is best to do it. So that's what we're doing, and you know, it'll come out good. It's just a lot of extra steps and stuff to deal with, but as long as I don't get any reactions or anything this time, I'm going to be really happy. So I'm going to put a coat of white on this engine compartment, and let's keep our fingers crossed. Alright, we're coming out pretty darn good here, I gotta say. No catastrophes yet. I'm having problems with this camera. It doesn't seem to want to turn on. It's a pretty time-sensitive thing, so I'm trying to hurry along here, and it's getting dark, and after it stays dark too long, the bugs start coming out, and still got quite a ways to go on this. It's like literally the perfect night, perfect day to paint. It's just been pretty cool today. The humidity is down. It's just it's just beautiful for a painting day. So kind of started this a lot later than I anticipated on, but I was too busy over there messing around with the new brush cutter that I you guys are gonna see the video on, or already did. Not sure which order it's gonna go on yet, but very happy so far. No major things yet, so I say yet because anything can happen at any time with painting, but just gonna keep plugging away and hope for the best. Got the first coat on, we're gonna do another one. That might be it. This paint covers really good, so. Well, here it is the next day, and we are in good shape finally. This has been like a month-long process. I started out just having to paint from this body line back and had a nasty reaction and ended up painting this entire thing, sandblasting all that and this, reprimering it twice, sanding it, and finally we got where we needed to be. Oh, this project was only supposed to take a few hours that day and turned out to be a massive undertaking. And when you're restoring these cars, anything can go wrong at any time. Just have to keep an open mind and just realize that anything can happen. And it's out of your control, and that's the way it is. Rockers came out beautiful. Got all the way back painted all the way to the back wheel. We broke it off at this line right here. So that way all this stuff is done. And now I can put the doors and the fenders on and just start working on other stuff. This cowl just came out absolutely beautiful for what it was. I have hours of working on these corners right here to make this nice. And this was actually cracked up in here from the lead, and I sandblasted all the lead out. I welded it, ground it nice, Duraglassed it, bondoed it, and just spent hours on this cowl. All these grates were all bent pretty bad. I got in there with a paint can opener and pulled them and pushed them and just spent tons and tons of time on this. So very happy that we're finally getting somewheres now. It's looking pretty darn good. I was concerned. I got a couple little tape lines here in the seams because I didn't want to repaint the whole radiator support. I mean, for what the radiator support is and all that, that's fine with the crappy paint on it. But I worked really hard to get the top of these aprons nice. And with that old paint that was on it, that was kind of bubbling because it didn't dry. I just was like, you know what? I didn't do all that work to settle. So I wanted the top of the aprons really nice. And I wanted these really nice, like from here up, because this is all stuff you see. And I am definitely not disappointed. Came out beautiful. I spent a lot of time on the rockers, getting them done, getting them super straight. Underneath is nice. The door jambs. This driver's side one actually had to be cut and moved in a little bit. Got all that finished off really good, so very happy with it. Up in there's pretty nice. Up in the drip rail, got everything. I even finished off this corner. This was pretty butchered down in here from the seam sealer. Got in the drip rail really, really nice. And this should be done. So when I paint the rest of the car, I'll just blend down in here somewheres. This is definitely my favorite part of any paint job. Sometimes it's terrifying if you're doing flames or something like that, because you just never know. You hope the paint's not going to peel. This is satisfying, man. See how crappy all your hard work came out. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm already liking it. It's looking good. Get this thing unwrapped. we can start working on some other stuff. Exciting. Very exciting. I just love the way that nice stainless trim and that green looks next to each other. I can't wait to see it with the windshield and everything in. It's gonna look nice. I gotta roll it outside and blow it off. There's a lot of dust from everything, but this is all nicey nice underneath the dust. Get it down, blow it out, but that's what we got right now. Vacuum out all the sand again. The problem with sandblasting cars is now I see why people pay the extra money to have them dipped, because you just cannot get rid of that sand. It just gets everywhere. Alright, officially everything is jammed now. Now I'm just going to let this set up for... I'm not in any hurry. I'm going to let this dry because it just got cleared yesterday. And I'm just going to let this cure for as long as it takes. A week, whatever. I'm not in any hurry. Because it's still... It's not printy, but I could definitely dig into it with my nail. So I'm not in any hurry to put the doors on. I want to, but we're just going to let this dry up good so I can put some tape and stuff around the hot spots where things are going to rub. And we can go ahead and put the door on, the doors and the fenders on, and I can start putting the front end together and stuff like that. I think I'm just going to kind of put everything together, because when it comes time for the engine to go in, I think I'm just going to take it and put the end. I know a couple people that have a lift. I'll probably just take it over there and just put the engine on the cradle and put it up from underneath like you're kind of supposed to. And then that way nothing in here is going to get damaged and dented and all that. But I'm really liking the way these wheels look on this car. Everything is just coming out so nice. Definitely can't wait to see this thing painted. But I want to do some more crap work first, because the last thing I want to do is be moving around, and like once this car is painted, like stuff like this, it cannot happen. Like even stuff like this, like once this car is painted, like everything like this it cannot be like that. So all it takes is one thing like that to fall into it, and then you know, and just all that's all gonna... So we're going to wait to paint this for a little bit, but now I can start working on the interior and getting the seals in and just kind of buttoning everything up. And then we'll just paint it last. But I think the interior on this car is going to be... It's definitely going to be a challenge, because the whole rear of it's going to be custom made. Because I tubbed it, the wheel tubs are moved in, and... this was also a space duster, so you don't have the regular shelf like a normal car, so that's all going to have to be kind of custom worked. So the whole back, like from here back, is going to have to be customized. I actually have the sail panels from a 72 Duster, or 71 or whatever, the steel one, so that'll be pretty cool. I might try to make a custom headliner. You know, not anything crazy, just make something rather than buy it. I think the only things I really plan on buying for the interior is I want a brand new dash pad and a new carpet. But everything else I'm gonna make probably, just kind of because I want to make it unique, and I want to kind of save a little bit of money, because buying brand new interior parts for these old cars are stupid money. And yeah, I'm definitely game with making some stuff, because I got some pretty cool ideas. I think it'll look pretty good on the interior in this, but that's all stuff that you guys will just have to wait for. So that's gonna be a wrap for this one. I appreciate everyone that stuck it out. Probably the only 20 people that are watching, but for the guys that stuck it out with me, and I wish I could have taped more, but yeah, we had quite the disaster happen, but we fixed it. It looks even better than it did before, and it probably looks better than it would have the first time. So I'm glad that everything kind of worked the way it did now that it's all said and done. And definitely very happy to get this step done and just kind of move on to the next step, whatever that is. It's basically putting it together now. I mean, the car really can't get any more apart than it is now, so really the only way I can go now is up. So it's basically just putting everything together now. Brake lines, wiring, interior, glass, trim, molding, just all that stuff. So that's probably what we're going to be working on from here on out, little by little. But we will definitely keep you guys in the loop. Thanks for watching High Voltage Diesel once again. And we'll see y'all in the next video.